justice, liberty, justice for all. We're all human, and today I'm asking for one human act of compassion to please let my dad come home.
You can hear me because I have to be a little quieter than normal, especially when I am this. My household is sleeping, but if I have one more Trump supporter tell me that I need to have some empathy for Trump or for them or what they might be going through right now because whatever is going on, are you serious? Empathy? You want me, you want us to have empathy when you have spent the last 10 years denigrating everything we are, attacking the LGBTQ community, attacking immigrants, attacking everybody that isn't you. Just a few months ago, y'all were gleefully talking about feeding immigrants to alligators. You sit here and laugh about people being separated from one another because they're criminals. So is Donald Trump. He has called me because I voted for Democrats. I'm a leftist. I'm those people he talks about. He has called me vermin. He has said that I have been poisoning the blood of this country. He has called me the enemy within this country that I love with every fiber of my being. So fuck you. You're not getting one bit of goddamn empathy from me. I don't wish him harm, but I don't give one flying fuck if he goes. And no empathy.
Across a post today that deeply affected me. It was a woman who was coming forward, admitting that she had been a supporter of MAGA, had voted for Donald Trump 3 times, and was just coming to the realization that she was wrong. As she's been so vulnerable and sharing, she has received a lot of hate from both sides. And as she spoke, I could see the pain and the hurt that she was going through. My husband and I have been very cautious about publicizing our political views. We survived a violent crime where the police didn't believe us and they falsely accused us of making it up. And we received an enormous amount of public shaming, and the truth came out, and there was a docuseries, American Nightmare, that came out to expose it all a few years ago. And since then, we've been working with law enforcement to try to make changes and working on legislation, both federally and at the state level. And the issues that we are fighting for should be and are at face value bipartisan. So with that, we didn't want to alienate anyone. If you looked at my voting record and some of the social issues that I've been championing, you would maybe call me liberal leftist, but left, right, center, we're all human. We have basic human needs of feeling safe, secure, belonging, being a part of a community, and trying to lead a life that has meaning and purpose. But we also all come from different backgrounds. We have different life experiences that shape how we see the world and the people in it. And with that, we end up finding ourselves in different pockets of belief systems, ideologies, religions, that becomes a part of who we are and how we identify. There's so much anger and confusion. But when you see someone taking accountability and wanting to make change, and who are clearly feeling lost, their whole worldview has shifted, it doesn't do anyone any service by meeting that level of hurt with hate. It doesn't help anyone to meet hate with hate. All that does is push people away. You sure as hell aren't going to be pulling people in that way. You push them away further into their belief system, or you push them in a different direction.
MAGA voters plead that they should be understood. They beg for empathy this time around. They ask that people should understand their feelings. They ask that Trump should understand how they feel right now. They are asking that Trump should understand that it is no longer funny from their own end. MAGA voters, they are asking for empathy. You listen to what those people said earlier on, like at this point, they are asking that people should understand their feelings, that they are crying out because it is getting to them. They are crying out because they are no longer understanding what is happening. It is now getting to them. Now they're understanding what people have been clamoring for from day one, that Trump should not go to that place. Now they are seeking for empathy.
Into potentially an even more dangerous ideology. And we've seen this tested throughout time. I see so many people hurting. We need to not become what we are speaking against. It's important to speak truth to power, to stand up for your beliefs, stand up for democracy. We need to have a voice, and we can do that by leading with love. I came across a post today that deeply affected.
MAGA Republicans have said that empathy is a weakness. So what makes you think if you're down on your luck, you declare bankruptcy, you can't afford gas prices, that they're going to actually care about you at all? All they want is your vote, and they've got it. So if anything ever happens to you, you've already done everything that they need.
My theory on how the MAGA cult and patriarchal misogyny has gotten so many young men to vote for Donald Trump. Hi, I'm Jason, and unfortunately, due to a lot of different factors, I have this problem where I try to have empathy for the people who hurt me. So especially for those of you who are like, how did this happen? Why would they vote for him? Let me try to explain it in my way. I want you to start by imagining that you are a child. You are a child who knows nothing. And even as a child, you live in an incredibly genderized world.
Do you think people should understand that? Do you think people should understand their feelings? Because at this point, they are being pointed at that they are the cause of the sufferings the African Americans are passing through. They are the cause of the sufferings that is going on in USA right now. Because if they had voted right, that this particular thing happening right now would not be happening. But the deed has been done. Do you think that they deserve that empathy? Do you think that they should be considered? Do you think that all those things has it has happened? So what do we do again? What do you think about all this? Keep watching.
The colors you wear, the toys you're given to play with, the way people talk to you. And then as you start to learn language, you realize that language itself is extremely genderized. Some things like cats and ships are she's, and other things like pastors and presidents are he's. And the thing is, nobody really questions this. You don't question it at school, you don't question it at church, you don't question it at home. In fact, everybody around you, male and female-bodied, seem to uphold this system. So as far as you know, it works, and it's the only way things have ever been. But then when you're starting around 5-6 years old, you start getting bigger emotions, as humans do. But you are told that because you are a boy, you are not allowed to have these emotions. In fact, you will be rewarded if you can suppress those emotions and do the thing that you are being told to do, which in its simplest form would be go and hit the ball, go and catch the ball. And in fact, the boys that can suppress their emotions more and catch the ball more or throw the ball farther, they get rewarded. They get rewarded with praise, they get rewarded with accolades. And you realize the reality around you is that all of the boys are being ranked. There is constantly a pecking order and a hierarchy.
America that I was talking to my friend who is an avid Trump supporter, and I'm talking to him because I'm trying to build bridges of reconciliation. I still believe in a future of America that the us can be everybody and a bigger us. And so I'm talking with him, and he brings up a point that, right, both sides are corrupt. They're all corrupt. And this is something that I've been trying to push back against because I don't think that that is true. And I think that if you perpetuate the myth that both sides are corrupt, then that benefits the side that is more corrupt, right? Because if both sides are corrupt, one is still probably more corrupt than the other. And so the idea that both sides have problems and both sides are corrupt, the longer that we allow that to continue, the more it benefits the more corrupt side. And so one of the ways that I counter against this, because I have to do it carefully and I joke, right? I'm like, because he brought up that, right, like we've always been corrupt. And one of my jokes is, we're not more corrupt than Jim Crow, right? Like, as bad as things are, and things are bad, as bad as they are, we are not as bad as Jim Crow laws. And usually, right, people are like, oh yeah, because you can't say that we're as bad as Jim Crow. Like, again, lots of things are still bad, not as bad as Jim Crow.
Imagine the kind of pain that they must have been through for them to even come out to ask for empathy and love. All MAGA supporters, all MAGA voters, they are now asking for love. They are asking for empathy, that people should sympathize with them. People should understand their predicaments. People should understand what they are passing through at those points. People should come to their aid. Let everybody team up in one voice and remove that man that is causing this havoc for them. It's quite unfortunate.
But when we're on the phone, he asked me, "What's that?" And I was like, he's like, "Who's Jim Crow?" And I was like, Jim Crow laws, right? Like civil rights, like Reconstruction. And he was like, "Nope, did not know." He did not know what Jim Crow was. And so I spent, a couple minutes, right, explaining to him. He's like, "Oh." And it kind of just like ends the conversation because he has not digested this information yet. He has not learned this information. And that is the difficulty. That is the difficulty of evangelism. That is the difficulty of outreach, of conversion. And as one of my creator friends on this has pointed out, right, like this election shows us that we are not in a Venn diagram. We are in two different circles. And what that means is that if we want 51% majority vote blue, we are going to have to evangelize. We are going to have to be missionaries. We're going to have to educate and explain. And I also understand that there are a lot of people who are tired of doing it. And you got to retire or you got to take a break because you've been doing it for 8 years, 20 years, 50 years. The ones that are new, and this is how religion works, like the new converts, if you are a new convert, if you have recently been converted to the religion of everybody has equal and human rights, then we have to be the ones to go educate. And there's a lot of sentiment that I hear, right, which is go educate yourself. Why haven't you educated yourself? And I understand the feeling and the frustration, but the reality is nobody is going to educate themselves, or very few people are going to. That is just not how human beings work.
If you have watched up to this point, thank you so much. Thank you for watching. Thank you for sticking around. Thank you for always coming around. Subscribe, like, and share this video.
The American flag stands for compassion, kindness, liberty, justice for all. We're all human, and today I'm asking for one human act of compassion to